Om Kayena vacha manasyendrayirva Bhutyatmanava prakriti swabhava Karomi adyat sakalam paresma Narayanayeeti samarpayami Narayanayeeti samarpayami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. In this series of videos, we are going to talk about Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, of divine love, of God realization. So we are going to talk about the Narada Bhakti Sutras, a beautiful work attributed to sage Narada that talks about in full length of the path of devotion. May you all find inspiration in this work. May you all find meaning and purpose in your spiritual quest through these words. This kind of work, these words, these sutras, they bring light and they open the door to the life of the real quest for liberation. May you also find divine love in your heart. Moving on, Narada Bhakti Sutras, Chapter 10, Give Up Evil Company. Sutra 43. Evil company should be certainly given up by all means. So what is evil company? Those companies that are not aligned with the quest for God, with the quest for liberation, with spirituality, who still entertain habits, tamasic habits, rajasic habits, those habits that are not aligned with the quest for God. So these companies, they are considered evil and should be given up, because as you share these companies, you will develop these traits in yourself. So by one side, you are trying to purify yourself, rise above worldliness, to reach God. By the other side, you are developing these opposite traits that keep you bound and direct your attention towards other things. And these days, this is much more, it is different, because there are certain things now that weren't in the past, like internet, Facebook, Instagram, all these things, with the profiles and all of this. It's all about sensuality, even or especially in spirituality. You see all these profiles, naked people and all these things, and vanity, beauty, and all these superficial traits being there. And as you are following and getting little informations, you are getting the rest also. So in these days, it is even more important. So let's go point by point. Every time, by all means, avoid the company of the wicked. So in the previous sutra, we were talking about the glory of the company of the wise. And now it is saying, give up evil, wicked company. It is the same principle. As you are with wicked people, those who are not in the quest for God, you will develop their traits, or their traits will still feed your traits and maintain them. So it's like you're sweeping the floor and someone else is throwing dirt on it again. You will never stop sweeping. So by all means, give up evil company. those who are worldly minded, with worldly goals, with sensuality, greed, pride, all these things. A beginner who keeps company of the wicked loses his devotion and develops evil qualities. He also comes to the level of a worldly man. Mind imitates. So, not only people that have these worldly traits, worldly characteristics, or even evil ones, because what is evil? What is termed evil is always a matter of perspective. But let's classify as those who are not aligned with the quest for God, who are indulging in sense pleasures and all of these things. These are the ones we are talking about. So the beginner loses his devotion. And there's many examples of this. Not only those who have these traits, but those who question your devotion, who question the God existence, who question all of this, because this will feed your own doubts. And this will not allow you to grow. You will lose your devotion. Especially when things become more rough. That's when the doubt comes strong. When the sun is shining, everything is beautiful. It's more difficult for doubt to come. But when things get tougher, then doubt cuts your legs. So the mind imitates. This is the principle behind the glory of the company of the wise. Because mind imitates. And so if you surround yourself with these wicked people, as it is being mentioned here, then your mind will become as their own. And your devotion will not grow, will die, and, well, you lose that which is most precious. Are they similar to you? And do you want to continue to be similar to them? This is the issue. There's many arguments about this. But mind imitates, and whatever you're spending your time with, it is transforming your mind and directing you in that direction. Evil company is the main obstacle to devotion because it stimulates that which is worldly in you. It stimulates arrogance, pride, greed, sensuality, all these things. It is there, the lifestyle, all these things are there. So you are seeing it is increasing your worldly desires. So it is not only stimulating what you have, but also bringing new ones. And one thing that we can observe on this is how are the majority of people? There's a big similarity in lifestyles and everything like this. So those who have a spiritual lifestyle, they are much less. And from those who have a real spiritual lifestyle, a lifestyle which is not just for life itself, but for reaching the final goal, those are much fewer. So not only worldly people, but worldly-minded spiritual people, those who have made spirituality a lifestyle just to improve life, but are not really struggling for liberation. Those also fit in this category very well. Probably even better because they are setting a bad example. In the company of the wicked, one develops immorality, licentiousness, vicious habits, voluptuousness, sensuality, hypocrisy, arrogance, etc. The list goes on and on and on. In the worldly world, it is other values that are there. So if you stay with these people, these are the traits you will continue to develop. And devotion cannot rise. It's like if you throw water into the desert, it will evaporate immediately. So this is what happens to devotion in that kind of circumstance. Evil company destroys all purities, all virtues, such as purity, truthfulness, compassion. Mind tends to imitate. There's no going around this. If the locality, food, surroundings, environment, vocation, form of worship, topics of discussion, books you read are sattvic, you will grow in spirituality and virtue. If they are rajasic or tamasic, you will develop evil traits. So it's not just about your spiritual practice, that time you spend. It's about all the time. Not only that, but your environment, your surroundings, the people that you are with. All this plays a big role. And if the environment is filled with those who are really in the quest for liberation, that is good. If they are just worldly people, that will hinder your progress or kill it. That's the most probable thing. Some say, why should we shun evil company? Is not God there also? Why should we see evil anywhere? Shall we not see only good? Shall we not see God in evil also? Well, I've heard this sometimes already, and that's now how it works for you. Because no matter how you struggle, you are not above that. The environment plays a very important role in you. And eventually, maybe not now, but eventually at some point, as your practice becomes mature, you will understand what this means and the need for this. Eventually, at some point. A sage alone is above good and evil. He alone sees good in evil too. For him there is neither good nor evil. He alone will not be affected by evil, because he has transcended duality. Mind has been dissolved. So, those who are in the quest for God, this is not their case. So the environment plays a big role, Saying, all indeed is Brahman, when he is in the midst of temptations. All objects that stimulate lower passions must be ruthlessly avoided. I hear this a lot also. Everything is Brahman, everything. This is not real, but I'm still in the middle of temptations and enjoying the temptations and having a worldly life. And I've seen many examples. I've seen them throughout the time, the same seekers throughout the time. And time, which is the most precious thing, is not used, it's wasted. And they continue the same year after year. What grows there is just pride. So all objects that stimulates lower passions must be ruthlessly avoided. Ruthlessly avoided. And in those environments, this is very common from all sides: television, internet, direct examples, all of this. It is quite common. So common now these days that it is normal. It is normal. Movies, well, there's all kinds of sensual, and it stimulates everything which is opposite to God realization. The list is so big, and television, movies, and things like that, internet, they had made it more common. They have transformed these things as common in the minds of people. So a seeker these days looks at these things, partial nudity, for example, as something common, something normal. Engaging in explicit acts, but normal. All of this, violence, sex, all these things have become normalized by television and artists and things like this. So wherever you look these days, there's stimuli everywhere. And this should be ruthlessly avoided. And if you're in the worldly environment, you cannot avoid it. This sublime instruction should only be imparted to the aspirant who is endowed with the absolute moral purity, discrimination, dispassion, and who is free from cravings and sensual pleasures. So this instruction, these sutras, should only be given to these ones. So what is this saying? It is saying that these sutras will bear fruit when you reach this high level of purity. It's not saying that they should be kept away from you. But in a sense, there must be some merit to be able to be exposed to this. But that will not be enough for it to bear fruit. You must strive for purity and understanding the science of purity. Mind imitates. So if you live with the saints, with the God-realized ones, your mind will imitate, will elevate itself. If you live with the worldly people, the wicked people, those who don't want God, who don't believe in God, who are all about worldly values, who stimulate competition, greed, arrogance, pride, sensuality, all of this, then your mind will imitate also. And it's like devotion is like the lotus flower. It comes from the filth, yes, but it doesn't touch it. It rises above it. So rising above worldliness is the means to develop devotion. Because it is the Sutra 44. Because it is the cause of lust, anger, delusion, loss of memory, loss of intellect, and total ruin. So continuing, in the 43 said, evil company should be certainly given up by all means now, because it is the cause of lust, anger, delusion, loss of memory, loss of intellect, total ruin. Everybody sees this when you're waking up to the quest for God, spirituality, whatever. Those who are around you, usually, they don't take it very well because it threatens their world also. It's energy, because you don't even have to say anything, but your changes, your habits will start disturbing others around you because there's a fight. The evil traits versus God traits, godly traits. And your habits, your quest starts bothering them, and eventually they will start bothering you because they don't fit together. And if you're doing well in both, and if you're not self-realized or God-realized, so that means you're doing nothing. It's just an entertainment, and you're just into these worldly goals and making God as another of these goals. So memory and intellect spoken in this sutra refers to meditation and pure reason or discrimination respectively. So in this environment, I've seen this many times. People struggle to meditate, to be able to maintain some meditation, but it's very hard, it's very difficult. And if they can maintain it, they will not be able to deepen that meditation. Everything becomes blurred. Your intellect becomes blurred, heavy, tamasic. So everything is more difficult, more heavy, because of all these characteristics. And pure reason and discrimination, respectively. The discrimination even to understand what is being said in this sutra, because your mind will be clouded, and you share all those attachments and you want to keep them. And there will not be any discrimination about what is aligned with the quest of God, what is not. What should be kept, what should be given up. You will not have discrimination for that. Loss of memory is forgetfulness of the truth. Yes. Worldly-minded people may talk about pleasurable experiences and attractive objects seen by them. A beginner or even an advanced soul who has not attained self-realization, who is not rooted in the conviction of the utterly illusion nature of the world, will be impressed by such experience. He may feel a desire to enjoy them. I have seen this many times also. Being attracted by the talks, the experience of worldly-minded people, and developing a desire for them also. And even an advanced soul, or someone who has established himself in the path for some time, who is firm but not yet self-realized or God-realized, even that one, if he is exposed to all these companies, then he will fall. If the mind deviates even a little from its aim through lack of dispassion and vigilance, it will fall down and down like a ball dropped on from the first step of the stairs. So the mind deviates a little bit. Old desires, old things come. And it's like a ball. This is a good example. The ball, which is dropped on the first stairs, and it goes stair by stair, going down and more down and more down. This is how it happens. It's not all at once. So you're in intense spiritual practices, you start seeing, hearing these worldly achievements, worldly desires, attractive things to you still. And it's going down, 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 non-stopping down. Triple is the gateways to hell, destructive of self. Lust, wrath, and greed, let men renounce all these three. This is a passage of the Gita. Sutra 45. Though those evil tendencies, lust, anger, greed, etc., rise only in the form of the ripples in the beginning, they become like an ocean as a result of evil company. So those who are working hard for their liberation, for God realization, they may subdue these evil tendencies, even to almost for disappearance. But if you slack a little bit, they will come just like ripples, just little bit. But eventually, if you stay in these companies, then it will become ocean-like. You cannot go above it. Therefore, an aspirant should ever be vigilant and avoid evil company ruthlessly. And this aspirant is not the one that, I want to do a retreat or something like that because I'm curious. No, it is the one who is seriously intended in God realization, who sees that his life has no other meaningful purpose besides that. So those who haven't reached this level, they are very well where they are. These evil traits are easier to address in the form of ripples, but as an ocean is very difficult. It is true, as they are just small ripples, it's easy to burn them down. But when they become like an ocean, you get overwhelmed and drowned by them. So your devotion ends, your spiritual quest dies. Okay.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhushka sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva.